Hey everyone, I am Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility, bringing you new album reviews all the damn time. Today we're going to take a look at the brand new album from Berlin, Germany's formerly Power Trio. There are now four of them. K.A.D.A.V.A.R. This is either the seventh or eighth album, depending on what you count, right? Do you count the K.A.D.A.V.A.R album? Do you count that horrible I Just Want to Be a Sound thing that they put out earlier this year? Man, that was pretty terrible. You know, it's funny. That's one of those instances where I'm a big fan of a band, and you know me, I'm a completist. So, like, if I really like a band, I want to get all their releases. But, man, I have no desire to own I Just Want to Be a Sound from K.A.D.A.V.A.R, which came out, this past summer. It's just so completely different from anything they've ever done before, and just totally not my thing. I went and listened to that when it first came out, and I'm kind of like, this is horrible. This is not the K.A.D.A.V.A.R I want to hear. I don't know what they were thinking there, but, you know, they wanted to do something completely different. I get it. Anyway, back to the brand new album, which is, ironically enough, also titled K.A.D.A.V.A.R. You may remember they also have another album titled Kadaver. Very confusing. However, Kadaver here is short for Kids Abandoning Destiny Among Vanity and Ruin. That's what Kadaver stands for. In this particular instance, so I guess it's not quite the same. It's K.A.D.A.V.A.R. with periods in between to be short for Kids Abandoning Destiny and blah, 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 blah. Whatever. They couldn't have come up with a better title than that. I mean, come on. So anyway, let's take a look at the Digipack here. This is out on, what label is this? Microscopic label. Of course, I can never read these things, right? Does it really matter? Clouds Hill Records. Okay. I always liked their logo. Should be on the album cover. Come on, guys. It's the little things, right? The little things. There they are in the studio. As you can see, there are now four of them here. And then we got a little booklet, which basically just has the lyrics, nothing else. Doesn't tell you who plays on it, what they play, but that's, yeah. You know I'm a stickler for that stuff, right? So, of course, I have to go elsewhere to get all this information. You should be able to get everything on the album. The album should contain all the cool information. It's the way it should be. So, the band comprised of today, Christoph, otherwise known as Lupus Lindemann, on guitars and vocals. Christoph, otherwise known as Tiger Bartelt, on drums. Simon, otherwise known as Dragon Butelop, on bass. And then the new person, Jascha Kreft, on guitars and keyboards. So they now have two guitar players in the band, and Jascha also doubles up on keyboards because they do have like all sorts of synths and things in their music. In case you did not know that, because they are really playing upon their psychedelic leanings. All right, that's the one thing about this album I think you really need to know right off the bat. It's like this band has been moving into a much, much more psychedelic and space rock direction on their last couple albums. Didn't just start recently, right? This has been happening for a couple of years. You know, they really, if you go back to what they did with K.A.D.A.V.A.R, right, the story of Darkness and Light, that's the Elder K.A.D.A.V.A.R collaboration, right? And even before that, this band was starting to incorporate more kind of space rock and psychedelic elements into their sound, which originally was just this big kind of heavy rock, stoner rock type of thing, throwback to the heavy sounds of the 70s. Right now, they still have a little bit of that, but they're incorporating much, much more psychedelic elements to their music here. So I will not lie. My first listen or two of this album, I was pretty much not impressed. And I was kind of like, all right, more of the stuff that maybe I'm not really all that interested in hearing from this band. But, Jamie Laszlo kept saying, this is one of my favorite albums of the year. You got to keep going with it. I'm like, okay. So I've listened to it now a whole bunch of times, and I will say it's really growing on me. Yeah, there are certain things on this album that I still don't love, but what I do really like on here, I like a lot. It starts off really, really strong. To me, this album is front-loaded and back-loaded. It's like like a sandwich, right? You got great bread. What's in the middle maybe isn't fantastic, but the bread is amazing. It's killer sourdough bread, right? The best rye bread you ever had in your life. Lies is an incredible song. For me, I like this band with big, heavy, fuzzy riffs, tons of groove, with that cool kind of space rocky psychedelic vibe. When they go too far into the psychedelia, I'm kind of a little less interested, but they do what they do well. Reference points on this album. There's a ton of Hawkwind influence on this record. If you like Hawkwind, you're really going to like some of the stuff that's going on here. They also have that kind of, there's always this little Sabbath element with the big beefy stonery, doomy riffs. But there's nothing slow and doomy on this album. It's more like up-tempo stoner stuff. Lies is the opening track. Love the guitar tones. Fuzzy. It's just... Dogs are having a war behind me. Really good track. Lots of groove. Bass is always present on the K.A.D.A.V.A.R albums. Heartache is also really cool. One thing you notice in Heartache, right off the bat, anybody ever hear a song by Status Quo called Pictures of Matchstick Men? Sure, you all know that very early Status Quo single, right? Back before they became a boogie band, when they were doing that late 60s psychedelic thing, right? Right? That kind of little jangly, psychedelic, garagey kind of guitar lick at the beginning. That element is all over this album. You hear a similar type lick throughout a couple songs, and that whole, if you know that song, Pictures of Matchstick Men, it's almost like this entire album is influenced by that song and really early Hawkwind. It's uncanny. And then mixed with the bigger, heavier stuff. That's kind of the direction of this whole album. So Heartache to me sounds like the sister of Pictures of Matchstick Men. Explosions in the Sky, they revisit that again. There's also the similar type of lick in that song as well. Then you get kind of a waste of a song, The Corner of East 2nd and Robert Martinez. It's like 40-something seconds long. I don't know what the point of that is. Stick It's okay. It rocks. It's kind of cool. It's kind of garagey. Could be heavier. It's kind of psychedelic. It's okay. You, Me, The Apocalypse, pretty good track. The Children, that's pretty good. That's pretty heavy. In fact, I think the last 3 tracks may be the strongest on here. The Children has got there's lots of fuzz and big heavy riffing on the last part of the album. The title track, Cadaver, or, Kids Abandoning Destiny Among Vanity and Ruin, right, is kick-ass. And then the last track, which is the longest track on the album, and songs kind of get longer as we get to the back part of the album. Total Annihilation is nearly 7 minutes long. That's the K.A.D.A.V.A.R I love. The big, heavy, groovy, psychedelic, stonerific, loads of fuzz and massive riffing, and the vocals are just kind of dripping in reverb all throughout the whole album, just because he's a really interesting singer. I always liked his voice. He's not like your prototypical singer, but he's got that weird kind of like high-pitched kind of nasally thing going on, kind of like sounds like Tobias from Ghost at times, but a little bit more psychedelic sounding. Really, really good. There's cool, kind of trippy, if you love like classic Hawkwind. Songs like You, Me, Apocalypse, and The Children have loads of those cool kind of blipping synth washes and things like that. There's a huge Hawkwind element on this album. So like I said, I think it's really good. If I would have done this review like a week ago, I would have been like, yeah, this kind of blows. In fact, I remember I was talking to Chris Allo about this. This album really started to hit me over the last couple of days. I was talking to Chris Allo about this album the other day, and I was kind of like, yeah, I'm just not into it, man. It's not really grabbing me. And then after I had that conversation with him, I said, I gotta get ready to review this, so let me listen to it a couple more times. And then all of a sudden it started to hit me. It's not perfect through and through. There are, like I said, a couple tracks that are okay. Like for me, the brief less than a minute long Corner of East 2nd Street, whatever. Get rid of that. Stick It. I'm not nuts about that. Explosions in the Sky is pretty cool. But for me, Lies, Heartache, You, Me, Apocalypse, The Children, K.A.D.A.V.A.R, and Total Annihilation are great. Really good. Some of the fuzz tones on this album are pretty monstrous. Really, really cool. If you like when someone just kicks on that fuzz pedal and you get some moments of that. Really cool. Not a ton of soloing on here. if you're looking for lots of guitar solos, and it's not about that really. There are some here and there, but it's not about that. It's more about groove and feel, and mood and things like that, and space, lots of space. So yeah, that's my review. I was prepared to give this like a 3.5 or a 3.75. I'm inching closer to a 4 on this. It's not a 4.5. It's not that good, but this is somewhere between a 3.75 and a 4, somewhere around there. So that's very solid. Very solid, very enjoyable. So if you've, kind of gotten off the K.A.D.A.V.A.R train, especially after that last Abomination album, and you want more of the older sounds mixed with some new things, I think you might really dig this. So go check it out. Like I said, I wish the logo was on the cover. Put the name of the album on the cover. Come on, guys. It's like you shouldn't have to turn it over to get all that information. So, but anyway, they are a 4-piece now, so go check it out. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, our Cameo page, and the Sea of Tranquility membership options, all down below. Thanks in advance for all your support, folks. It's greatly appreciated, and we'll see you soon here with more stuff. I will put the link to the Bandcamp page down below so you can go give this a listen. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.